Psychology facts about human behavior that will blow your mind. When we talk about the largest female genitalia, it's essential to approach the subject with sensitivity and scientific curiosity. Throughout history, the size and shape of genitalia have often been surrounded by myths and exaggerations. However, recorded cases such as those documented in medical journals of the 19th and 20th centuries provide us with factual information. For instance, one notable case from the late 1800s involved a woman from Paris whose unusually large labia were studied by doctors fascinated by human anatomy's variations. Here's a prevalent myth in society that a true orgasm for women should be vaginal, meaning it should result from penetrative intercourse alone. However, research and clinical observations show that the majority of women do not orgasm through penetration alone without clitoral stimulation. Only about 18 to 30% of women report being able to achieve orgasm through vaginal intercourse alone. The female genitalia, primarily the external part known as the vulva, includes the labia majora and labia minora, the clitoris, and the vaginal opening. Each part has its unique sensitivity and role in sexual pleasure. The clitoris, often highlighted for its pivotal role in female pleasure, has roughly 8,000 nerve endings, making it highly sensitive and a key player in achieving sexual satisfaction. The human body has always been a subject of fascination and mystery, and female genitalia are no exception. Throughout history, the perception and understanding of female genitalia have varied greatly. In ancient times, the size and shape of female genitalia were often linked with various myths and misconceptions. For instance, in classical Greece, large genitalia were sometimes associated with lewdness and were depicted in satirical plays and art. Moving forward to the Renaissance, anatomical studies began to change perceptions. Pioneers like Andreas Vesalius started to study the human body more scientifically, offering more accurate representations and dispelling many myths. However, societal attitudes were slow to change, and many misconceptions continued to persist. Throughout history, female genitalia have been both venerated and vilified. In ancient civilizations like Greece and India, representations of female genitalia were not merely biological but were imbued with significant cultural and religious meanings. For example, the ancient Greeks had a figure known as Baubo, a mythological figure associated with female genital display as a symbol of fertility and protection. In contrast, during the Middle Ages in Europe, the female body, and particularly genitalia, were often associated with sin and temptation, reflecting the period's religious strictures. This dichotomy illustrates how cultural context significantly shapes the understanding of female anatomy. Sigmund Freud's theories prominently featured sexuality and its development. Freud posited that understanding a person's sexual life was key to understanding their psychological health. He introduced concepts like penis envy, which suggested a complex involving female children's realization of their lack of penis, which has been widely criticized and reinterpreted in modern psychology. The myth that larger or smaller genitalia impacts sexual satisfaction has been debunked by numerous studies indicating that satisfaction is influenced more by emotional factors and communication between partners. Contemporary psychologists focus more on body positivity and understanding the psychological impact of societal attitudes towards female bodies. Studies show that how women perceive their bodies can significantly impact their mental health and self-esteem. Media portrayal of bodies, especially in pornography and advertising, often presents a very narrow and often unrealistic image of what female genitalia should look like. This can create unrealistic expectations, which studies have shown to affect sexual confidence and satisfaction. Highlighting diversity in genital appearance can help counteract these stereotypes and promote a healthier self-image among viewers. Research indicates that how women perceive their genitalia can have direct implications on their sexual health. Women who feel ashamed or embarrassed by their genitalia are less likely to seek regular gynecological care, potentially leading to adverse health outcomes. A positive genital self-image is strongly linked to better sexual function. This includes more frequent orgasms and higher overall satisfaction. Addressing body image issues can thus be a key approach in improving overall sexual health and satisfaction. Promoting a positive genital self-image is crucial for encouraging proactive health behaviors. Elective genital surgeries, such as labiaplasty, have psychological implications that extend beyond physical appearance. Research indicates that while some women report improved self-esteem and sexual satisfaction post-surgery, others may experience minimal psychological benefits, suggesting that expectations and the underlying reasons for seeking surgery are crucial. Discussing the psychological aspects of why individuals opt for such surgeries can help demystify the subject and encourage more thoughtful decision-making. Women have been found to exhibit higher erotic plasticity than men. This concept refers to the extent to which the sex drive can be shaped by cultural, social, and situational factors. Studies suggest that women's sexual attitudes, behaviors, and desires are more likely to change over time and in different contexts, including how they perceive their own bodies. Understanding this can lead to more nuanced conversations about sexual identity and expression. Attitudes towards sex toys and practices like oral sex vary widely across cultures. In Iceland, the UK, and Norway, the use of vibrators during foreplay is particularly popular, indicating a more open attitude towards exploring different methods of sexual pleasure. By contrast, in many parts of Africa and among certain religious groups, oral sex is viewed as unnatural or sinful. These cultural perceptions can significantly affect individual sexual behavior and openness in relationships. Studies have found that men who participate more in household chores tend to have more frequent sex. This may be linked to perceptions of fairness and partnership in a relationship, which can enhance emotional closeness and sexual desire. The U.S. has an array of laws regulating sexual behavior, more so than many European countries. For instance, sex toys are banned in places like Alabama, and other specific sexual acts are legally restricted in various states. These laws not only reflect cultural norms but also affect how individuals express their sexuality, potentially leading to stress or conflict about sexual desires and practices. Foreplay is crucial for many women to achieve orgasm, with only 30% able to reach orgasm through intercourse alone. Men's Health highlights that proper foreplay is akin to stretching before a workout. Not only does it prepare the body for physical activity, but it also builds anticipation and enhances the overall experience. Common misconceptions about sex, such as the belief that a longer female genitalia provides more pleasure, can create anxiety and dissatisfaction in sexual relationships. It's important for sexual education to address these myths, providing factual information about what factors genuinely contribute to satisfying sexual experiences. A significant discrepancy known as the orgasm gap exists between men and women in heterosexual relationships. Studies, including one from the Journal of Sex Research, have found that while 85% of men reported their female partner had an orgasm during their most recent sexual encounter, only about 64% of women reported having one. This gap often stems from lack of communication, insufficient foreplay, and misunderstandings about female sexual response, which can lead to frustration and decreased relationship satisfaction. Believing that vaginal orgasms are necessary for complete sexual satisfaction can lead to feelings of inadequacy, sexual dissatisfaction, and unnecessary pressure in both partners. Women who do not experience vaginal orgasms may feel dysfunctional, despite this being the physiological norm. Their partners might also feel inadequate for not being able to provide an orgasm through penetration, which can affect relationship dynamics and self-esteem. The vagina has a natural pH level that ranges from 3.8 to 4.5, which is slightly acidic. This acidity helps to protect against bacterial infections and maintains a healthy balance of yeast and bacteria. The composition of vaginal flora can change with life stages, sexual activity, and overall health, emphasizing the importance of maintaining a healthy vaginal environment. Unlike other parts of the body that require external cleaning, the vagina is self-cleaning and produces secretions that help to expel bacteria and dead cells. This natural mechanism is why douching or using scented products can actually disrupt the vaginal flora and increase the risk of infections. The vagina is incredibly elastic, able to stretch significantly during sexual intercourse and childbirth. Its resting size can vary between women, but it typically measures between 3 to 4 inches in depth. During arousal, the vagina expands both in length and width to accommodate penetration, a phenomenon known as vaginal tenting. The existence of the G-spot, a sensitive area located on the front wall of the vagina, is still subject to scientific debate. However, many women report a distinct area that, when stimulated, can lead to powerful orgasms and sometimes a phenomenon known as female ejaculation. This fluid is different from urine and is believed to come from the Skene's glands. A woman's sexual desire can fluctuate throughout her menstrual cycle, with many reporting increased libido around ovulation. This peak in sexual interest coincides with biological fertility, suggesting a link between reproductive readiness and sexual activity. The clitoris is the only organ in the human body, either male or female, whose sole function is to provide pleasure. It contains over 8,000 nerve endings, making it one of the most sensitive areas of the female body. Its internal structure extends into the body, surrounding the vaginal canal and contributing to sensations felt during intercourse. Similar to the gut, the vagina has its own microbiome, primarily dominated by lactobacillus bacteria, which play a crucial role in maintaining vaginal health. Changes in this microbiome can lead to conditions like bacterial vaginosis or yeast infections, highlighting the importance of a balanced vaginal ecosystem. During childbirth, the vagina can stretch considerably to accommodate a newborn, which is typically around the size of a small watermelon. Postpartum recovery can vary from woman to woman, with the vagina generally returning to its pre-birth size, though not always its exact original shape. This natural resilience highlights the vagina's incredible adaptability and strength. The external part of the female genitalia, known as the vulva, varies significantly in appearance from one woman to another. Variations in the size, color, and shape of the labia, both majora and minora, are normal, with no two vulvas being exactly alike. Promoting understanding and acceptance of vulvar diversity is essential to combating body image issues and enhancing sexual confidence. Vaginal lubrication is primarily a response to sexual arousal and is produced by the Bartholin's glands, located near the vaginal opening. This natural lubrication facilitates sexual intercourse, reducing friction and enhancing pleasure. Lubrication levels can be affected by factors such as hormones, medication, and overall hydration. In history, there are accounts and medical records that detail extraordinary cases of human anatomy. One such record for the largest female genitalia comes from the 19th century, detailing the story of a woman known as the Hottentot Venus. Real name, Saartjie Baartman. Saartjie was a Khoikhoi woman from South Africa, whose body structure, particularly her genitalia and buttocks, were unusually large due to a genetic condition known as steatophagia. This condition often leads to exaggerated accumulation of fat in the buttocks and can also affect the genital area. Like, comment, and subscribe for more from the wisdom of psychology.